live, baby.
All right. What's up, Ryan?
How are you guys doing?
Welcome back.
Am I too
Hello.
loud? Yeah, I got too
No.
loud of levels here.
You're great.
Oh, I should probably do this some, but then it messes up my hat.
You got to keep the hat
Very
like
important.
pristine. You know?
Yeah, I just got this hat in Nashville.
Ooh.
It is good.
Yeah.
It is a good hat.
I can't think of how you pronounce them. Gorgon Brothers or something. Maybe you can get a sponsorship from them because they make the best hats. They're incredible.
Gorgon?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's a Gorgon. I don't know. They've got them in cool places like Nashville,
Yeah.
New Orleans, San Francisco, but they're a cool hat company.
Just hat designers?
Hat
Yeah,
specific?
and they like fit them to your head when you're in there and stuff.
To
so.
me, Ryan sounds a little louder than everybody else.
I'm
so I don't
probably
know
because
if-
I'm sucking this mic.
Well, I don't know if it's just
tip.
that or if we need to lower the level or not.
I can back off.
It's all
I got
good.
mic control.
Whatever.
I know how this works.
Yeah, just a little.
Try it.
Yeah, because I don't. If we go too low, then
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's
It'll
it's
be-
better to be too high than that's true.
there should be enough headroom that he's
Yeah,
not going to
for
be
sure.
uh,
We're good.
I'll bring it down. A little bit.
distorted or anything like that.
Barry White this thing.
It's-
Ooh.
It's kind of it's on the lower end anyway. There should be
Yeah.
plenty of headroom.
Yeah.
So it
yeah,
should be
I got
fine.
it. I just won't speak real loud.
All right, Ryan, tell us what's up. Tell us what you got going on, man.
I have a bunch of shows coming up, and this Friday in Little Rock, Arkansas at Vino's, we are going to be playing a show with one of my favorite Arkansas bands, White Mansion. They are, you can get them up on the screen. I don't know if
Yeah.
you can see anything, but they're kind of a post-punk, cold wave, just kind of just awesome band. Super, super nice guys, and they put on an incredible show. We played a show with them at Rev Room, I don't know, a few months ago, and super excited.
I still haven't had a chance to check them out.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
I heard they were at Battle of the Bands, but I left before they got to go on.
Yeah, they just got signed to a German label, and they have a new album coming out that they've been working on. I don't know if I don't think they've dropped anything brand new on Spotify, but you should follow them on Spotify. White Mansion is what they're under. And definitely, please follow my band, Illusionaut, on Spotify. We are about to release an EP and that we just wrapped up, and it's got to get mastered. We're having Andy Jackson, who did the last two Pink Floyd records, he's going to do some mastering on it. Darren from Blue Chair in Arkansas did this album. And, yeah, that should be coming out pretty soon. So, anyway, we're playing that show this Friday, July 12th. I think the doors open at 7, show's probably 8. I don't know, we're going on first, so get there on time. And then the next night we're playing in Memphis at a place called Canvas of Memphis with one of my favorite Tennessee bands, and definitely one of my favorite bands that we've ever played live with. And they are the Pop Ritual. And they are such great people, and Colin, the singer, has been such a help to me. We started incorporating additional sounds, and he's just like a genius when it comes to working electronic music. And I don't know, he took it out of the time of his life to like talk to me for maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, about just how to go about adding these lush things to our live sound, and it's going to completely change us as of this next record. So
Sweet.
Are they out of Memphis or are they?
yeah, they're out of Memphis.
I was thinking so.
Yeah,
I haven't seen them either, but I definitely
Yeah.
gotta catch them at some point.
definitely follow them on Spotify. They have at least a whole album on there, and it's really great stuff. It's industrial, but it's shoegaze, and it's kind of dark, and it's just really cool. Both those guys, those
about to say,
bands are
it's a-
really kindred souls. Like, that's the most matched up we've been probably with any bands live.
Wow. Yeah.
And then we're playing in Denver, Colorado, August 3rd with a couple other bands. Psyphedelic is one of them, and then Married a Dead Man is the other. And same kind of thing, industrial and post-punk. Both those bands are kind of split between those two sounds.
You're playing at a Lion's Lair?
Lion's Lair in Denver, Colorado,
Denver.
August 3rd. We're going out, our whole shop, Lucky Bella's going out there for the Denver Tattoo Convention, and we'll play that Saturday night after the convention, and then I got a tattoo on Sunday, and then we drive back, and then we play Fayetteville, Arkansas at Smoke and Barrel on September. Well, I don't know that one. Again,
That's a little rough. You got a whole string of shit going.
Yeah. And yeah, I think we're gonna add a Springfield show and a Oklahoma City or Tulsa show.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll tag some bands that I want to play with in Oklahoma City and Springfield, and just see if they respond to this, and maybe see this and
Yeah.
link them up.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, that'd be real cool.
You got September 7th.
September 7th. Okay, cool.
Is Smoking Barrel.
Yeah, that should be good. That's my first time playing Fayetteville, but my bandmates have played there a bunch of times.
Mhm.
I think I'll be in for that, so I may
Yeah.
come up for that one.
That should be cool.
Sweet. Cool, man.
School will be in session up there, so college town
Oh yeah.
should be pretty
That'll be
crazy. Yeah,
fun.
they'll have money from coming back from summer, doing
Yeah.
their summer jobs.
Yeah, it may pack out then.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That school.
What's good? Anything new been going on? Any new updates you can give us since the last podcast? Or?
Let's see what kind of funny stuff has been going
Yeah.
on. Oh my gosh.
That's all. That's pretty much what the quit.
Yeah,
Like, I don't care.
yeah. Randy, what's some funny stuff that's happened lately?
Funny stuff.
Besides
Yeah.
us just losing our mind on difficult tattoos and stuff.
There has been a lot of that. A
Oh,
lot of crazy people. It seems like this summer.
Yeah, and July has, I think, 2 full moons, or maybe it's
Yeah, we're about to enter retrograde.
yeah. Is it? We're in retrograde now, right? Or no?
It starts tomorrow. I
Of course it
believe.
does.
What
right when I have
exactly-
2 new shows.
What exactly is retrograde?
All it does is it's basically, I mean, it's really an illusion. It just appears like the planet's spinning backwards.
Yeah.
Do you know
It's
which?
supposed to mess
Our
with,
planet
like-
or one of the other planets?
Another planet. Like
Yeah.
when we look at it, which one is it? Do you know?
This one I know is going in Leo, but I would have to pull up my
What
phone.
the fuck does
to-
that mean? Leo is not a planet.
Yeah,
Leo.
but
shit,
it's
it's like under
is
that-
an astrological
yeah,
sign.
yeah.
Thank you. I only know
Um,
that because I'm a Leo.
Oh my
You know,
God.
and I wouldn't have necessarily bought into any of that stuff with the influence of stuff like that. But the last time, like when Mars went into retrograde, and I experienced a car wreck. Somebody crashed into me and totaled my car. There was Howard had that where he. I don't want to talk about Howard's problems that he got into.
Whoa.
But yeah, Howard had a bad experience during that retrograde, and
I remember
uh,
your car wreck.
yeah, that was all like in the same week, pretty much. And
I don't remember much else from that week that stands out.
yeah, but so I don't know.
It's really about like
Technology, yeah.
technology
Yeah.
and travel,
Yeah.
and you tend to get more aggravated more easily, so
Yeah.
you're not supposed to make like super big decisions. And this is supposed to last until the 23rd of July, 23rd or 27th of July.
27th.
Yeah.
From the 28th of June to
It's a
the
long
27th
time.
of July, Mars is in retrograde.
Well,
Mars is in the show.
so if nothing else, if you come out to these shows that are in full retrograde mode, it should, at the worst case scenario, it'll be a shit show and it'll still be fun to watch.
Hell yeah.
How often does that happen?
It happens several times a year, I
Yeah.
think.
Just with different
1,
planets.
2, 3, 4
Yeah.
planets. Is that this
There's
year?
3 more rows of it too. Even. There's like
7 planets this year. So that's all the fucking time.
yeah, man.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I
but they
mean,
affect different things too, depending upon the planet. But I mean, Mercury retrograde is kind of like the biggest.
Yeah. So this one shouldn't be that big a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully.
No, I mean everybody panics because they hear retrograde and they're like, "Oh my god, my life's about to end for like a whole month." And I'm like, "Literally, you've been going through this since you were born. Like, you're fine."
Do you guys want to play What's in Ryan's Pockets?
Yeah. Woo! This
There's
doesn't
no
sound
telling.
suspicious at all.
We'll find. Right
It's
now.
always
Oh,
something
no.
weird. I don't know. Let's see what I've got.
Is it
find
something to
out.
combat retrograde?
Yeah, it's always something. Of course I got. Yeah, I've got
Yay,
some
Lots
crystal
of
rocks.
rocks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here, put some up to the camera there. These are some nice looking.
I don't
Yeah, here we'll
know.
show some of these off.
Hold them up to the.
Here, I'm just gonna get a handful here. Here, just shoot it on this. I'll just put them in my hand here. Got a
How pretty.
handful of rocks. Not the.
That is code word for crack.
Do you know what these
That is
are?
not-
This
those are
is-
quartz. Those are Arkansas quartz down from the mined.
This one's cool because it's
Mine,
orangey.
not mined.
Mined.
Mine. The mine where.
Free
Quartz
your
are.
mind.
This looks like a jade of some kind because it's
Yeah.
green.
I don't know if it is jade, but yeah.
I like
I'm
these
not a
that
master
have-
of crystals.
Yeah.
I have no
I know
No.
the
clue.
crystals I like, and that's it.
If somebody can identify this one, where's the camera that it is?
There it is.
Up
here.
there,
There
you
you
can,
go.
yeah.
I could
yeah,
see
yeah.
that being jade. I guess.
I mean,
I
it
don't
looks
see why not.
jade-ish.
It's green.
Yeah.
It's green.
Jade.
I like green.
And then what's that?
I
other
like this
where-
one with the geode on it.
Yeah.
These
So
are
these
just more quartz, I think.
there's certain crystals that supposedly retain energy better and like residual energy or something. I won't claim to know exactly, but they have triangles in them, and if you look at them up close, I don't know.
I mean, any like rough rock is gonna be better than a tumbled rock.
Yeah.
That's definitely like
Why?
because it's closer to its natural state, so it's
Oh.
able to retain all the energies and stuff more efficiently.
Yeah, and seriously, there are certain ones that you can look at and actually see triangles inside of them, and I think they call, I forget what they call them. You can maybe in the comments say what it is.
We're not. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, memory something or recall, I don't know. And then this one, I don't know what this is. Maybe that's quartz, but it's just tumbled.
I don't know. what
It
that
looks
one is
like
either.
a conch shell or
Put
something.
it in Randy's nose. Anyway, that's all
I
that's
like
in my
this
pocket
guy.
besides adapters. It's boring today.
They call it a record keeper.
Record
You
keeper,
have
that's it, yeah.
The triangles and the crystals, a record keeper.
Yeah,
Zoom in on
those are
that.
the really
Let's
special
see
ones, I
here.
guess.
More small.
They're
triangles.
highly sought after.
On the faces, rays. Okay, fancy.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
Couldn't you just like cut those into?
I think they're inside the quartz. Maybe not
This
just on the
here?
outside.
Oh, if it'll load and show high quality, like that.
Yeah, I think so.
This guy right here.
Oh, I
See
see them
those little ones?
inside. I
Yeah.
see the
Yeah.
little ones. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
not the cut. It's like
right,
actual little.
right.
If you're just
Yeah.
listening to the podcast, what did you Google on that?
Just triangles inside crystals. I
But if
think.
you look up record
keeper
crystal,
crystal.
crystal, you're gonna find
That's-
all this information about them.
It's way easier to see when they're super clear like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to really hold them up to light, or maybe get a jeweler's loop or something to really see 'em. see them.
Yeah, that would probably help.
We've got some fucking. This looks like it's cut into it.
That looks like
that one
some
does look
alien
good.
shit,
Yeah.
right?
It
Right.
does look like some alien shit.
Let's see.
I was watching something on the Discovery Channel whenever I was out at sea last time, and one of those guys from that ancient alien show went to talk to some guy in New Mexico that found a rock out there that he says came off of one of the spaceships
Mhm.
that they found, that they took to Area 51, and it was like they did a bunch of tests on it, and it was magnetized, but it just looked like a regular rock.
What?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what you would look up to find. It had some kind of like imprint in it, but other than that, it just looked like a regular stone.
Hmm.
It was
That's
pretty
wacky.
strange.
Interesting.
They had a specific name for it too, but I can't remember what they called it.
Man. So
But
you
it
guys
was
really don't
strange.
have any weird tattoo stories or any canvases gone crazy or?
I don't want to call
fucking-
anybody out.
Well, no
but,
need to. I mean.
But we've this time of year, once the heat starts hitting, and yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. But anyway, there's 2 full moons I think in this month. In fact, I think the one at the end of the month is called a black moon. I don't think there's any reason to call it a black moon other than that it's a second moon in the same month, second
Yeah.
full moon.
Yeah.
I think. Or it's a new moon. Is it 2 new moons? I don't know.
Look it up. Turn black.
I think
moon
I
know.
thought last
refers to
month
the
was 2
additional
full
new moon that appears in a month or
moons,
Maybe.
season. It may also refer
Second
to
new
the absence
moon.
of a full
Second
moon.
new
in a
moon. Yeah. I have just enough knowledge to make someone think I sound smart. But really, somebody that's smart is like, this guy's an idiot. He does not know what he's talking about.
I
There's
would
also a
believe it.
black moon hip hop group. So there you go.
Let me down.
I don't know. I like the idea of space, but I don't know enough about it. It's just up there.
Space is wacky. There's a lot of space.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. Can't be the only ones out there, I don't think.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. Because, I mean, I don't know. I think there's just so much that there's got to be something, right?
I don't know.
Because there's, I mean...
Infinite.
Absolutely. I mean, I believe
Right.
in other dimensions. I believe that there are multiple parallel dimensions that are occurring simultaneously over the top of us right now.
I could see that. I just think it's, I don't know, all the things that have to happen for what we know as far as to make life.
Mhm.
It's the chances are not very high.
Well,
but
it happened once.
across an infinite number, I mean, I guess it would have to
Right.
be, but I can't really wrap my brain around an infinite
Right.
number, so
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, even just trying to wrap your brain around, like, how big space is in general, like, you can't do it. You think our sun is big, but then there's things that we found already that are just bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's like,
For instance, just the number of stars.
Right.
Like the number of stars just in our galaxy, or in our... you can break it down anyway, and it's impressive numbers. Just stars alone. I was looking this up when Jupiter last month came the closest in its orbit that it comes to the Earth, and you could see its 4 moons under a little bit of magnification. Jupiter became like the brightest thing in the sky outside of Venus and the moon, but and you could actually see like with some strong binoculars or like a mild telescope could actually see its moons. But I got to looking at the number of stars that are just like in our galaxy, and let alone our universe, and let alone whatever, and it's just the numbers don't even, they go off the screen.
yeah.
What's super crazy is being able to see that as far away as it is.
Yeah.
Right. Uh-huh.
That's what's crazy.
It's crazy. They just finally got the picture of the black hole, like, after forever. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah.
And I thought it was crazy because, I'd never seen one before, of course.
I saw a bunch of people talking about it.
But to me, life, talking about that, and just statistically, that's, say like for a mushroom to grow on the ground, conditions have to be right or whatever, and it seems like, oh, what's going on? There's all these right here, but those conditions happen over and over again, at an astronomical amount of times.
Right.
And we can track, where that potentially would be occurring, but
Yeah. Well, and, thing about that, too, is that on Earth itself, it didn't just, happen. Life didn't just, beep, here we go. Things had to evolve over millions and millions and millions of years so we could get to the spot we're at now, where we can live adapted and, actually survive what climates we're given.
Right.
So, yeah.
if anybody knows the number of stars in our galaxy, if you could just put that in the comments there.
Yeah, I don't know. The imagination that it takes to just think about all that is in itself a big undertaking.
Yeah.
Because there could be life form out there that we couldn't even comprehend.
Yep.
Maybe it's
Colors
not
we've
even
never
carbon
seen,
based.
and right, yeah. I
You
don't
know? And then maybe that just a different whole set of things need to be in place for that life to form. Who knows?
Shit's crazy. That's why people like Neil deGrasse Tyson, they fucking blow my mind. Because they can just study that shit and be like, all right, I get it. At least, to the extent of where I can talk about it confidently. And, I just look at this stuff and I'm like, I can't even, comprehend all the shit out there.
He does a great job of breaking that down, though, for somebody that,
The layman.
yeah, to, at least an average intelligence could be like, all right, I'm following you. Not so much everybody else that's an astrophysicist or whatever, but
yeah, his comparisons to like things that you actually can comprehend make it a lot easier.
For sure.
And Stephen Hawking could do that on some level as well. I mean, he knew how to step down into the let me use this as an example zone.
Yeah, man. It's just space. Space is crazy. You don't know what goes on. Probably never will.
I mean, maybe not. If we don't, we definitely won't if we don't make it too much further.
Yeah. We could suddenly descend into, I don't know.
I've wondered lately, like, how many times that has happened on Earth itself, you know? We definitely know about the dinosaurs, but how many times before that has there just been, like, catastrophic, just destroy the world?
Right.
Find anything on
that? I've wondered that, like, here lately.
Yeah.
Especially with the impending doom that's coming on now.
Yeah. I can only imagine the frustration of someone, you know, with the intelligence level of Neil deGrasse Tyson or, you know, Hawkins or somebody like that, just coping with people that think that the Earth is flat and, you know, just... like how you even don't just end your life on the spot as far as like knowing that that's what you're facing as far as like trying to explain yourself to someone.
It's got to be like trying to talk to children and explain something to children.
Oh yeah.
That's got to be the only similarity there, because it's just not getting through.
And a lot of size.
Yeah, beating your head against the wall.
It might not be so bad if you didn't have a strong empathy response, and I am empathetic to trying to make a person's experience, especially if I'm in their zone, like in their proximity, a little bit more understandable and a little bit more like, you know, where they're not so angry about things and not knowing why they're angry about certain things, you know. But if you were, you know, smart enough and didn't have an empathy response, that wouldn't be so bad, maybe, because you'd just be like, well, you're a fucking idiot, whatever.
Yeah, cut them off. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I found some information on a mass extinction that happened even before the dinosaurs. We have here volcanic activity caused mass extinction before the dinosaurs arrived. We had a bunch of other species that were more like large sea reptiles and mollusks, and they died off about 200 million years ago at the end of the Triassic period. And it happened because, you know, volcanic eruptions just fucked them up, I guess,
major
man.
extinction events.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I guess the smart ones, or the more evolved water lizards, went up on land and became dinosaurs, who then were also promptly extinct.
That's another thing, too. Can you imagine if they didn't die out, what things would be like today? I mean, I don't think we
I don't
would
even know
exist.
we'd be alive.
Yeah, I don't think we would have.
Yeah.
I don't think the ape people would have made it if giant lizards still roam.
Have you ever debated a person that doesn't believe in dinosaurs?
No.
I mean, I'm assuming they're not watching your show because of the name.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So I don't
That's
think
fair.
we're really offending anybody that might be tuning in.
Oh my.
I only know most of those people through, like, other people.
Mhm.
Like mutual kind of.
Yeah, I still kind of think they may be a myth.
No.
Really? You think
Those
so?
people.
I feel like there's people who
I
really
don't think
believe
I've
that.
ever met
I
somebody
swear
that
to God.
doesn't.
I swear.
The way that they don't believe in dinosaurs, I don't really believe in them.
I sat
Yeah,
through.
that's fair.
I was raised Southern Baptist, and I sat through a Sunday school class where they did talk about how dinosaur bones were here to put here by the devil to
I've heard
trick
that.
you
Yeah.
and to
fucking
mislead
way.
people.
I think
I
that's
have heard
And
that.
I think that's the comment. I don't believe in dinosaurs. Reason.
my
Wow.
yeah.
What?
So my response immediately upon hearing that, even, you know, was, all right then, guys.
Yeah.
I can, at this point, I can talk about what happened last night on Saturday Night Live, but I think we don't really have a whole lot left to talk about.
This may be
What?
the end of the conversation.
Put here by the devil. So he just put him there because he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make these people think God."
Look
didn't
up that
exist."
theory.
Well,
That's a
yeah,
good one.
Satan's
Yeah.
like put a bunch of stuff
Dinosaur-
on
like,
Earth
just
to like
dinosaurs-
mislead us.
Put here by
to
the
make
devil
us question our
faith.
love.
Yeah. Because you gotta have faith, like George
Yeah.
Michael said, but that's not what he was talking
That's
about.
not what he meant.
Mhm.
That's not what he meant at all. I don't understand that idea either.
Yeah.
That like science and discovery and new
Don't
things
converge.
are just like
I don't know.
against God.
My brother-in-law he's a really smart guy, and he's a Christian, and he's has a degree in biology and works for, he's a land management biologist, something for, and he is very baffled by why people can't understand that science and God could coexist, or those theories of evolution. I mean, not theories, like evidence of evolution is very observable in our world that we can see, and is just kind of baffled by why people think it's an attack on their religious structure.
Yeah.
And those are mostly people that aren't actually even reading the instruction manual that they're going by. They're just kind of, it's like a person that gets a new TV and they're like, I know how this works. I'm not reading this, even though there's a big page of caution, and whatever.
Wow. So, here people are saying, let's see. Some Christians believe that Satan was there when Noah was making the ark or something like that, and he says, wow, here's my chance. These critters have always lived with man. I know that, and God knows that. But these people don't know that. So the devil said, I think I'm going to tell them that dinosaurs lived millions and millions of years ago. And if they believe it, it'll make them doubt the Bible. So that is the...
That'll show them.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck God. Take this.
So, just based on that one thing.
What the fuck? That is
Here's-
insane.
Here's my question. So if the story of Noah is true, right, the whole earth flooded except for Noah's family and those that were on the ark, right?
Yeah.
I mean, or the
The
Epic
two
of
of-
Gilgamesh.
yeah.
You can,
Well,
it's
right.
Hypothetically, if it's true.
But then, so then the devil's like, well, here's my chance. I'm going to tell him this. And then he walks up to him and he's like, hey, dudes, what's up? And they're like, hey, everyone else is dead. What the fuck?
You're the fucking devil.
Isn't that a hole in the story right there?
easy. There's a lot more holes, but we won't go.
There's Swiss cheese, man.
You can't fill
God.
every hole that comes in your life.
I guess not. I guess not. This is not a... This is not a very good rock fence right here.
No.
You're not going to dam the river with this idea.
I'm the devil, and I'm gonna tell people
From the
dinosaurs
Dinosaurs
are really,
and
really
the Bible
old.
DVD by Dr. Kent Hovind.
Yeah, it's,
His materials are not copyrighted, so there you go. You can get them
Well,
and
look
use
at
them.
that. Yeah, use them in any video that you want to. Actually,
What about dinosaurs?
I think my grandpa actually owns. I'm not fucking with you, dude.
I thought you were gonna say.
I'm
I think
not
that's my
fucking with
grandpa.
you. No, I think he actually owns like one or two of these DVDs, and I watched them as a child. Holy shit, this is crazy. Because I remember that.
Is it coming back to you now?
It's coming back, man. You know what? I'm starting to think the dinosaurs weren't real.
Yeah.
Honestly. What the fuck? Anyway,
Yeah,
fuck
it's
that.
crazy.
That's insane.
Creation.
I mean, I
seminar.
get it. Like, if you can't put together the whole thing and you don't want to read about it or whatever, you're next thing you know, you're munching Xanax because you're in a full-on anxiety attack that there can't be some sort of structure in what is occurring around us
Right.
that you can understand.
I mean, as much as like the idea of space would give you anxiety, the idea of dinosaurs would, I think, too. They're just so gargantuan, so monstrous. I think a giant, probably 50-foot reptile.
Yeah. Well, that's scary just to think about. I mean, fuck.
Sure.
Yeah.
Crocodiles are a little bit scary.
The crocodiles are very scary.
Yo, no, those are still living dinosaurs, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they're living
Yeah,
dinosaurs for
for
sure.
sure.
Oh, yeah, those
Absolutely.
fuckers are
And
mean.
yeah, crocs are. I won't say that they're mean just because I love Steve Irwin so much and he would cry over that statement, but
You would.
crocs are super aggressive and they freak me out.
Well,
Alligators,
yeah, that's us.
super.
They're
they're,
apex predators.
Alligators are actually pretty adorable to me, and like I said, I've held at least a couple of them that are pretty good size without, anything protective thing on their mouth or anything, and they're not super aggressive. Like they're, they know what to go after for the most part.
I don't trust them. I still don't trust
Well,
them.
I mean, like, don't let them borrow your money or anything.
Yeah.
I've made that mistake already.
Don't try to grab their
Don't
tongue.
trust them like
Jeez.
babysitting your small dog or anything.
No.
No, I do want a lizard though. I like lizards.
Yeah,
I think
like
they're
a
super cute.
like a bearded dragon or like a chameleon.
gecko.
Yeah.
Gecko.
I know Howard, that we work with. He would, what did he have? He had a chameleon, I think, and
Chameleon,
he would
yeah.
lecture you on why. And him and Sherry both would lecture you on the heartbreak of owning a chameleon or a lizard like that.
Howard's chameleon, it got some kind of bone disease.
Damn.
Yeah.
And which apparently is pretty common in the captive chameleons.
Yeesh.
And like it
Fuck.
couldn't even hold its mouth closed
That's
anymore.
awful.
Yeah, I
And
think
oh
it
my
broke. I think it
God.
broke his heart real bad, and I think
Yeah.
Sherry had a similar experience. But
Jeez. You guys are breaking my
wow, this is a
heart.
very science-based
Yeah,
show
man.
here.
It has to happen at some point, right?
I'm not drinking, so I'm currently trying to scale back drinking.
You should at this
Yeah,
that's
point.
pretty
yeah.
smart,
I mean,
to
I,
be
c-
honest
I
with you.
currently have a kidney stone, so like it feels best to just not drink. But so also,
Says the man
Also,
chugging
this is
a
a-
Red Bull.
Yeah, he's got a Red
yeah,
Bull in
yeah,
his
that
hand.
was dumb. This is my last sugary drink for a while. I do have Life Water, which is supposed to give me life.
Well,
But-
as most water does, I think.
Yeah. I'm going on a binge of less to no alcohol, even though I've got all these shows. It's very difficult to be in a band and not drink alcohol.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
I mean,
you're in a bar. So
you're in a
often.
bar. There's this downtime between sound check and the show that's very anxious, the maximum anxious you can be,
Yeah.
and there's nothing to do.
Right. Yeah,
um,
and I'm sure it's hard to like
besides
not get
stress about
loosened
it.
up
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
a little bit before a show.
But Logan is been drinking way less before shows, and that helps me not drink as well.
Yeah.
And we're just our sound since we've done that it has tightened up incredibly. Not to mention our new guitar player that just joined our band. People probably don't know because it's occurred very quickly over the last I don't know, when was the last show? That was just you were in. It was right before you left, so that was a month before. But our long time.
Vino's was your last show, wasn't it?
No, it was Stickies.
Oh, Sticky. That's right.
it was
that
right
right
before you left. But
Right.
Derek, our longtime guitar player, his job really, he just can't get the schedule right to play shows as far out as we're playing now, with as quick a turnaround. So we were kind of in this state of what are we gonna do? And Daniel, who was in the band Haphazard, which local Arkansas people would be very familiar with these bands, but Haphazard and Chasing the Fall and Grand Facade with Jerry. Those last two bands, he was with Jerry. It just kind of the stars aligned, and he has kind of done his own thing, and it has definitely created a whole new dimension to our sound.
Oh, that guy's killer. He's
It
really
is.
good.
It is. People will be impressed. People were the ones that knew that Derek might not be able to make shows after that last period of show dates. I think were very much like, oh my gosh, what are you guys gonna do? And Daniel made that transition extremely easy, and you'll have to check it out especially when we release this stuff on Spotify. You'll hear what we're talking about, and they're just different approaches to guitar. Derek was very organic, ambient, kind of in the back, and Daniel definitely fills space in a way that's a different approach, but still covers those sounds in this transitionary period. So
those tracks I heard, it was very much more in the forefront of things.
Yeah.
Just a lot more there.
Yeah, and we had contemplated even being just a 3-piece at that time period, and we could do it as a 3-piece, but really I like to just lose myself on stage and kind of, because my eyes will roll back in my head and I won't have any memory of what occurred once the music starts until it's over, and so it's a little bit easier to stay in that other dimension, not having to also think in terms of, and I want people that don't do this to fully appreciate someone that is singing and playing an instrument simultaneously, what is being done inside the brain as far as the different parts of the brain that is doing multiple things simultaneously. It's so much more beyond like patting your head and rubbing your stomach or whatever.
Well, that and you have to put on a show too.
Yeah,
like,
and then be interesting while you're doing
exactly.
it. That is a completely different.
It's like that.
deal.
It's like a triangle. You see them a lot of times. They'll have one thing at each point, and it's
Yeah.
like you get to
You can
pick
have
two of
two
them.
of 'em,
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
having all
yeah,
three
yeah,
is, man,
yeah.
you figured it out.
Well, no, when I saw you guys live finally, like, it was such an entertaining. It was just a spectacle. Like, you were rocking the fucking hardest I've ever seen you move. Jerry was going fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone was losing their minds. It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And now it even frees us up a little bit more to become really tight with the actual sound of the music, as opposed to just necessarily being a spectacle like that. We actually and bands like Tool, if you ever see Tool live, they're an amazing band and everything, but a lot of times they may be pretty stationary in their positions, and then they have some visual things that are occurring, but it's nice to be able to also roam freely around the stage and just be a weirdo.
I mean, all of that helps.
Yeah,
for sure.
Are you still doing the sequin mask?
I am. So that has now become a character,
Yes, thank you.
called Lucifer. The new album or the new EP is going to be called Lucifer,
That's fucking awesome.
and really that song is an anti hypocrisy anthem for the most part. I try not to write songs from like a place of like political statements or first person experiences, but with what's going on in society and our currently, it's hard to not have that stuff influence everything,
Right.
and
For
just
sure.
your own anxiety about it, whatever side a person takes in their choices. But so that character, when I now don that mask, is Lucifer, and it's just kind of a deceptive kind of basically just little tiny mirrors on there, that is just we're gonna start doing a lot more visual things, I think, like that, that I don't want to give away some of the things that will slowly evolve into the set. And we have a concept for the new album that is pretty interesting. I'll come on and talk about it more in depth, because it will just take up our whole show even talking about it. But
I wanted to bring that up because Kanye West actually copied you.
yeah, well,
And,
I don't know if I did it.
I'm gonna say you did it first because
Now,
You've been doing it for a while.
I bought the mask that I have off of Etsy maybe 2 years ago, and
I think you were first, man.
Yeah, but I think Conway tweet. I think Conway West, or no, Kanye West. I think he's pretty, not to me the most likable person, but I have a hard time when I don't know that it's Kanye West, not being like, this is a good song, and then being like, oh, it's Kanye West, and I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
But his music
But
is,
he's got some good music.
He's got some good music.
I do enjoy
and
his music.
so even when somebody had taken pictures of me when we performed in that mask, and then had mentioned that after the first time we did it, and it was at a bigger show. And
I think
I was
like-
unaware of it.
I think I like your mask better.
Yeah, right? Me
It's
too.
different.
His
dude.
seems bulkier.
I don't know what that is.
I
Oh, he's
can't-
got different
maybe-
ones, I think.
Maybe it's just the pictures too,
Please.
but yours seems to refract the light a lot more.
Yes.
So it's a bit flashier.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think.
okay, so that also, I have rigged up some sort of light on my microphone.
That probably helps out a
And
lot
so,
in that too.
He's
so,
a
yeah.
biter. He stole your style. I'm not taking this laying down.
But lots of musicians have done like
That's
weird
true.
masks, like Daft Punk did
Uh-huh.
that,
Yeah.
and Dead Mouse or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he has a whole theory. Both I think those guys have theories on that, and that is part of, for Deadmau5, I know it was like, I think he was very freaked out by dealing with the crowds, and obviously when you remove yourself, you put a mask on stage and you can't really see anything. That mask that I have on, I can't see anything pretty much.
Yeah.
So you are pretty much in your head, and it takes away that. I don't get freaked out really so much or scared on stage, as long as I know that I've got a band with me that is not going to just completely fall apart, as long as they're professionals, which everyone is completely.
Right.
But just being up there by yourself, I'm sure, has to be a fucking nerve wracker, man.
Yeah, I would be very freaked out outside of not having, especially Jerry and Logan on the same stage with me. I'm fearless as long as they're on stage with me, and having Daniel, who is an old friend of Jerry, that just makes it even. For Jerry, it calms Jerry, I think, and so it's just like walking into a room and doing whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it makes it easier when you have that to rely
Yeah.
on each other, you know.
Yeah, and that's anything you do in life, you know, like that's like even us in the tattoo studio, you know, like we're very much one of the things that people talk about how different we are is that we all interact amongst each other without ego, and just like, hey, what would you do here, or what would you think is my best choices? I've got these two ideas, and man, you just things done like that, you just really sharpens the edge of everything that's done by doing that.
It definitely does. I mean, it's made a huge difference on me.
Yeah.
Especially not coming from a big art background. It definitely helps me out all the time. And a good example of where somebody has faltered in that method is like when Rob Zombie did the movie Lords of Salem. I don't know. I didn't look into the background of this, but man, I loved the idea of that movie. And I love his stuff and love his music, and went and saw that movie and was hugely disappointed because it, to me, didn't seem like maybe enough people had their like a say into what might whittle the storyline itself or the script into a really sharp weapon. But all the visuals and stuff are there, and it's definitely a movie worth watching regardless. But it, I think, could have been just an amazing movie had he maybe had more people doing that. And there's a certain balance where you got too many people and it's just everything becomes homogenized, and so there's this balance of, as long as you've got trusted artists doing art together in like this kind of collaborative thing, that becomes like a greater universal truth, and just everything becomes better, as opposed to, say, when money is strictly involved and you've got a corporate interest that is homogenizing something down to the point that it is so bland that the dumbest dumb person is going to like it because they love, something stupid, explosions, as opposed to something that's like far more cerebral.
Well, speaking of that, did you see that, what's that new fucking zombie movie called? It's got like hold on, let me look it up. You guys keep talking.
With Jordan,
Jordan Peele's new one?
No, The Dead Don't Die, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I heard some bad things about it, but I love everybody that was in there.
Everybody, it had a great cast, right?
I don't know anything about this one.
Hated it. I thought it was so bad. But everybody else in the theater that we were sitting around fucking died. They loved the whole thing. It was supposed to, like, I get what they were going for. It was supposed to be this like campy, cheesy zombie movie.
Give me some. I don't know anything about it.
So it's
who's it by? Who did it? Who's in it?
It was done by Jim. What the fuck?
Zoom in.
I'm trying. Here we go.
Give me a little.
Jim Jarmusch. Jim Jarmusch did this and it wasn't good.
I don't
he
know
did.
Jim
Jarmusch is a director that I really like. He did a great movie called Mystery Train with it had the late Screaming Jay Hawkins in it. This legendary blues guy. If you've ever seen that I Put a Spell on You or heard that I Put a Spell on You song.
Yeah.
I don't think he wrote the song, but he did an amazing version. You should look it up on YouTube sometime. It's completely insane. But Nina Simone did the song as well.
Holy
and
shit, that cast.
Dude,
Bill
right?
Murray, Adam Driver,
yes.
Tom Waits.
I know. Steve Buscemi,
Buscemi,
fucking Danny
Danny
Glover.
Glover. Wow.
Dude, it had a great all-star cast, but it had the fucking RZA in it.
Yeah.
It was just so bad, dude.
Sometimes when you
So
get that many
unfunny
people,
bad.
I feel like the director maybe feels uncomfortable even like directing them harshly and
I
let
get that
let
too,
them.
though.
I don't know.
But I think what it was is it was a writing thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think they spent so much money on all these good people, and then they didn't spend good money on the
Or
writers.
or maybe they expected to have more improv out of it, and it just didn't work out.
Maybe, man.
That
It
could
was
be.
just not good. I didn't think so, but everyone else
What's
in
the plot
theater
line
did.
of the movie?
Okay, so pretty much everything's going fine in this small town, and then zombies break out, and then that's it. They just have to kill the zombies. There's no really any underlying plot, no subplots, really. All the character stories are boring. All the writing is awful. All the jokes don't land. It's just a zombie movie. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, Jim Jarmusch's other movies are really good.
What else has he done that I would know?
My mind. I got so many other things in my mind, but Mystery Train is a great movie, and it's just based around Memphis, and it's about I think like a young Japanese couple that are like came over to experience Memphis and are fans of rock and roll and Sun Studio and Elvis Presley and it's just about them coming over there and their experience. And it's been a while since I've seen that movie, but it's a really adorable movie that I really liked, and that's just one movie that sticks out. But
Do you think Memphis would be anything that it is if Elvis had just making that his home?
I mean, like, you know, it would have at least been a source for blues because Sam Phillips was doing, you know, the thing with Sam Phillips, who did Sun Studio or Sun Records. He was recording, you know, everybody, and I think they credit him as being one of the first people to really record anybody. He would record all these blues guys and stuff that other recording studios weren't going to do, just from racism and all kinds of stuff like that. So he was taking in, you know, like all these, you know, Howlin' Wolf and like all these guys, and he would record them all and like recognize the talent and brought them in, and you know that place just became, you know, what it was. And Memphis is important anyway, music-wise, but obviously, you know, when that original group of Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis and Johnny Cash and Roy Orbison and really Howlin' Wolf and those guys, when they, you know, did that, it was like a nuclear bomb just went off right there. And I don't know if what's her name, Big Mama Thornton, if she recorded there ever or not. She was from Arkansas, and obviously they just let her into the Hall of Fame, I think last year. And really, people I think credit her with being
she was like the originator.
The originator of rock and roll, and there's no denying. You watch a live video of her; she's doing rock and roll before rock and roll is rock and roll.
Oh,
and
wow.
but I think also they would say the same thing about like Howlin' Wolf. They were both, I think Rocket 88 maybe, and I think that was Howlin' Wolf. I think they attribute that to like one of the first distorted guitars ever done on like as a recording, and it was due to they dropped their amplifier and it broke or punctured the speaker, and they put like newspaper down in it and recorded anyway, and it was all like and I think they recorded specifically the song Rocket 88. Is that Howlin' Wolf?
Let's see.
With the first distorted guitar.
Oh, that guy who directed The Dead Don't Die also did Sling Blade. If you've seen Sling Blade.
Okay, all right.
Really?
Mhm.
Jarmusch did that? I did not know that.
Yeah.
I have a confession to make. I have not seen Sling Blade.
Really?
And here's why. Because I'm not from Arkansas, and I moved here at a time right when Sling Blade, I don't know what year that was that it came out, but around the time that came out. And obviously it was like ground zero for all the Arkansas people, and everybody had already seen it.
Right.
So I just missed the train on that. And
I've never seen the whole thing.
I have seen the short that they did to get the film made. So it's like a summed up, like very, very, very short version of it.
Is it Rockin' 88 or Rocket 88?
Rocket 88?
Rocket 88 says it's done by Ike Turner and Jackie Brenston.
Maybe Ike Turner is, or his guitar player is attributed to it. Maybe.
Possibly. Let me see.
What's that say down there on the bottom right?
Which one here?
Jackie Brenston.
Jackie Brenston. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That'd be who wrote it. 51?
Yeah.
61? I can't read that.
1951.
51.
March 3rd or 5th, 1951.
Something like that.
Yeah. circa March 3rd, 1951.
That's
So,
funny.
yeah. Got that. There.
I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's the people that did the first assorted guitar on there. And that was at Sun. That was at Sun though. I forgot Ike Turner did. I always forget about Ike Turner because he's doesn't have the greatest.
He's a bad guy.
yeah. He would be Me Too'd like so many times over and over again nowadays. But,
Okay, yeah. Yes. Song Rocket 88, where
Yeah.
guitarist Willie Kizart,
yeah.
I don't know, I guess that's how you
Yeah.
say his name. He had a vacuum tube amplifier. Okay, well. I guess
Yeah,
we
and it
gotta
broke.
look at this now.
They're gonna say that it broke or whatever.
Mhm.
and
Yeah, let's get into this.
Let's see. I can't really zoom in too much.
Tone at the instrument, clipping signal, pushing it maximum, through the waves, blah blah blah, warm,
Overdriven
dirty.
tube amps,
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Basically, he broke his amplifier.
Yeah, pretty
yeah.
much.
Pushed it too hard.
But if you ever
looks
get a
like.
chance, you should definitely take a tour of Sun. I don't know if they had that amplifier, but maybe they have an amplifier like it. But they have a little museum
It's super
upstairs.
cool.
It
I
is
love
really
Sun
cool.
Studios.
This
Oh, that should.
I saw ELO this last week, and we went to the Country Music Hall of Fame, which is kind of cool. There's some cool stuff in there,
Mhm.
and like they've got Graham Parsons like nudie suit, which is insane looking.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
pull up a shot of that.
It
That
is.
thing is
Graham
bananas.
Parsons nudie suit.
Graham?
Yeah, it's
It is bananas.
you could just type in suit and it'll come up. But it is covered in
Let's see here.
rhinestone, marijuana leaves, poppy leaves, and
Yeah,
That's
there it
fucking
is.
Funny. Hold on, let me pull this up.
Yeah,
and,
this thing is crazy.
There's naked women on the collar if you
Wow.
zoom in.
Holy shit, this guy's
I
a
guess he's
fucking
maybe
baller.
he's had see the naked girls on the inside of his
Yeah,
collar.
yeah. Hold on, let me
If
put
you're
this
just
up.
listening to the podcast, you got to look this thing up.
Yo.
There's weed leaves on the
Shit
front
is
of this
crazy.
jacket.
Look
of
at the
this
pills
suit.
that go down his arms.
there's
Obviously, he died of a
pills.
drug overdose under very mysterious conditions at a young age.
Strange.
Yeah,
I
you
would
could
never
see
be able
that.
to tell by the suit.
No,
dude.
no, I think he's an upstanding citizen. Honestly.
Yeah,
The women
yeah.
on the lapels.
I
Is
can't
a
remember the
great
story,
looking suit.
that
what
suit's
happened,
fucking
but
cool.
his death was very bizarre as well because he
Get a
like
good shot of what is that
Is
jacket?
it this one?
Yeah.
I don't know what that one is.
that's the
is that
back
the same-
of it.
yeah,
Is
it's
it the
just the
same one
back.
just to the back
yeah,
of it?
yeah.
Pants.
Oh, the
Is that like some kind of
pants.
flame thing going on the
yeah, there's
pants?
flames
Yo,
going
this
up
is
it.
A
It's-
big
crazy.
cross on the back too.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
fantastic.
It's crazy.
It's amazing. If anybody knows someone that can make some sort of nudie suit for me, I would love to do it. I think I could probably do it. I just don't have the time to do it.
Yeah, that's some dedication right there.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want one in black or in white. I would want it in black. But
Yeah. Dude.
A white nudie suit would get
I-
so dirty so fast.
oh my god, yeah,
Especially at a show.
yeah.
Sweaty.
Gross. It traps all the fucking.
But they
stank
have
in
that
there.
in the Country Music Hall of Fame, and it's pretty. It's
awesome.
it's an experience just to see that, and they have Hank Williams' double-breasted suit and his cowboy boots. Which did we show you a picture of those?
I didn't see his
Oh my
boots.
god, Randy, you would freak out over his cowboy boots.
Man, I like a good pair of boots. I'm telling you, I want some silver tip boots. That's what I'm looking for now.
Man.
Some black boots with
Balenciaga,
some,
check
with
'em
some
up.
Crazy
You're getting
up,
silver
check 'em
tips.
out.
Balenciaga. We're talking Balenciaga.
Dude,
right
I just
now?
saw a pair this last weekend,
Ooh,
and
shit.
I'm telling you, you just start killing people for a living if you have those boots.
Exotic
Are they
skin.
are they
and silver
Balenciaga
tip.
cowboy boots?
Yeah, yeah, they've got
What?
silver tips on
Hold
the
on.
end. They're like a very extreme luxury boot that I
Wow.
picked up, and I thought, oh my god, Randy would definitely. I wanted
Let's
those
see if I
boots,
can
but I
find
I
this.
could never justify an article of clothing that expensive
Like these?
unless I think.
These are kinda
Yeah.
I gotta get some silver tip
Wow.
boots, man.
You get the Balenci's, baby.
If they have it like Balenciaga like embossed into the top of them, they're incredible. They're like, I don't know, $1,500 boots.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll do that.
I mean, boots are expensive anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you're definitely gonna pay.
I would, if I had those boots, insist that I die in them.
Yeah.
Like
Bury me
if
with
I,
them,
they were like,
please.
you've got 12 minutes to live, I would be like, get the boots, because I would
Get
Yeah.
the
insist that I
boots.
died in
Get the boots.
I need those boots buried with me.
See, I would be afraid to own a pair of boots that
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
extravagant.
Me too.
I would wear them out because I would never
Yeah.
take them off.
Yeah.
Some cool Hank Williams
And
boots.
I would not want people within 5 feet of me if I had them.
Yeah, and wouldn't go anywhere with dogs. Wouldn't go anywhere with people who don't know boundaries.
Yeah, those are fantastic boots.
That's some nice. What are they? Yeah, Hank Williams boots.
You know Hank Williams is gonna have good
Of
boots.
course.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of it's this show where they talk about like country singers and like their lives and how like fucking like hardcore and all this crazy stuff that they used to do. Tales of the Tour Bus.
Yes.
That's what it's
Oh,
called.
yeah.
Man, fantastic.
Tales of the Tour Bus
Yeah.
is so great. I
Yeah,
love that
season
show.
1 and season 2 is
Yeah,
incredible.
season 2 is
like the
great.
funk
The funk
guys,
is
you
just
know,
as good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bootsy Collins and
fucking George
Clinton.
Yeah, George
and,
Clinton.
yeah, I got to see Bootsy Collins live back maybe like 4 or
What?
5 years ago.
Oh
Just
my
incredible.
God.
Like most. Yeah, it's such an amazing
No,
show.
he'd still
and
be amazing to see.
yeah,
So
I think he's stopping touring though. I think he's got health issues now, and I think
Damn.
this year he announced that he was going to stop touring.
that's a damn
And George
shame.
Clinton was doing his last, I think, bout this time, pretty much in casinos and stuff. But
Damn, man. That's a
but
shame.
yeah, those guys would have been incredible. And Rick James, man,
Mhm,
like, you know, his life ended bad, like, and he had some bad stuff happen. But that dude, man, that guy made some sick tunes.
Mhm,
Like,
yeah, no
one of
question.
my favorite songs to get pumped up to before I go on stage is "Give It to Me, Baby." Like that song
That
gets
song's
me
great.
going like crazy.
What's amazing is how well his stuff still holds up.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, you know, friggin', I mean, his song that he did with Eddie Murphy, the like My Girl
Party
Wants
all
to Party
the
All
Party,
the
time.
Time.
yeah, Party all the
that song-
time,
I
yeah.
like that song.
Party,
so
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what
and they
it's
talk about that on there when they
Uh-huh.
made
They
that
do,
song, being
yeah.
snowed in, and they're just
Mhm.
like, let's make a song.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was doing an impression of Rick James. He was like kind of making
Yeah,
fun of
yeah,
him. while he
yeah,
was
and they're like,
recording it.
roll the tape,
Yeah,
and then they made a
exactly.
hit song.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah, a for real
yeah.
hit.
I love
that people went bananas
yeah,
for.
I still
yeah.
love
And I
Mary
still
Jane.
listen to it. I've got several playlists on my.
Yeah, man, that song is
Spotify
banging.
with it, yeah,
It's so
yeah.
good. But yeah,
But anyway,
Rick James. Is
too much,
great.
man. You took too much. You just. Can't.
Yeah.
You gotta know your levels of moderation in all things.
Absolutely.
You can't smoke crack and hold a girl in a cage and burn her
At
with
least
the
not,
crack.
at least
Fair.
not forever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
can't.
fair,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
guess.
Maybe
And-
for a little
yeah,
while,
yeah.
but
Jeez.
not forever.
And if you do a drug, don't let the drug do you.
That's good advice for
That-
everyone.
Yeah.
I think so too.
That should
yeah.
be
Or
universal.
alcohol, or cookies.
It's all a drug.
or, You
It's
know,
all a drug.
Even water, and like maybe not as much water, but
I mean,
people
you
can die
can,
from water.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you
people
can
did
get
it
water
like on a
poisoning.
radio show.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, what was it? She drank like a
let
whole
me find
gallon
that.
of shit or
Yeah,
something.
it was for. They were trying to win a contest, I think, and maybe I don't know if they were trying to like not pee or drink the most water in a certain amount of time, and it caused like some sort of toxicity and
yeah.
caused the skin cell or the cells to explode or something. I don't know.
That is.
None of that may be true. I mean, what I just said, but I'm pretty sure that's what I
I
remember.
mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
Is
that
it?
happened.
Let's see. I'm sure it is. A mother. Oh my God. A mother of 3 died from water intoxication after a
That's what
radio
it is.
station drinking competition. A California coroner said on Saturday, Jennifer Strange, 28, competed in the Sacramento station KDND 107.9
Hold Your Wii for a
for a
Wii.
Wii
That's it.
contest to try to win a Nintendo console for her children.
Click on that
is
link.
Fucking sad. Jesus.
Also, just to be like, remember how mom died holding her
Yeah,
pee for a
right.
Wii for us?
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
gonna get us a Wii.
How sad would you be when you played your Wii
Yeah, I don't.
How-
obviously, she didn't get it.
How
I
sad
mean,
would you be now that Wii's are like
nothing?
$20?
Yeah,
You could get a
yeah.
Wii for like $20 now.
Yeah, they're nothing now.
My
And you're
mom
like, yep,
died
my
for a
mom
Wii.
died for this. You know.
You take it back to GameStop and you're like, hey, I need to get some money for this, and they're like,
Yeah.
I'll give you $5. My
I
mom
wonder-
died for this.
Yeah,
Wii.
I wonder if they still gave him the Wii like afterwards. Like I don't know.
Did she win?
That's fine.
Half pint bottles of water to drink every 15 minutes for the first hour,
Holy
and then
fuck.
larger bottles to up the ante.
Oh no!
How long did she go for?
Let's see.
The winner was the last contestant to go to the toilet. Fellow contestant James
Yeah.
Barra said they were small little half pint bottles, so we thought it was going to be easy.
Jesus
They
Christ.
told us if you don't feel like you can do this, don't put your health at risk, which that probably got him out of everything.
Healthy kidneys are able to excrete about 1 to 1.5 liters of water per hour. So what did it say they were drinking?
It literally
Little
says she was
bottles of-
crying, and that was the last anyone heard
Oh
of
my
her.
god. Oh my lord, this is awful.
Water intoxication death.
Hmm. Well, let's try to end this on a high note.
Yeah, maybe water intoxication is not the way to keep going.
Anyway, the moral of the story is all things in moderation,
Yes,
and
yes. You can-
anything you do.
You can OD on anything, literally anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Including
Jeez, I
water.
need to get
Yeah.
this off the screen.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, hopefully they got their Wii. We'll never find out, I guess.
I think if she died, she didn't win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you don't think as a consolation they're like, yeah, your mom died.
If
for
they
this.
didn't
Well, it
give
said that
those
she
kids a
went
Wii,
home.
No, I
but
don't think.
seriously,
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they
I mean,
should've.
I got a Wii that I would give her, or get. I mean, she's dead, but her
Wow.
kids, but they're
Wow.
grown now, so
Yeah, I don't think they care at this point.
Jesus.
No, nor would I ever care about video games after that. If
Yeah.
No, I think that'd be it.
yeah,
I think there's bigger fish to fry at that point.
yeah.
You gotta let the world know that too much water will kill your mom.
Yeah.
It's not saying if they gave him one or not. This is,
Because I don't think they would.
I don't think they would either. I think they stuck to their guns.
It-
And they're like,
I don't. They probably didn't even get in trouble if they told them not to
No, it's-
jeopardize their health, which
Yeah.
really they shouldn't. Which I mean, if
it's their choice.
if it's-
I mean,
I don't think a Wii's worth that.
No.
I think you got to know
No.
that.
But I mean, I guess if you don't research going in, you're like, oh, I can't die from drinking too much water. Water's good
Yeah,
for
she
you.
probably didn't think she could
Right.
die from
Yeah.
drinking too much
Honestly,
water.
if I hadn't heard about
Honestly,
that, I probably
I-
would have thought the same
Me
thing.
too. I
Yeah.
absolutely would have thought that.
Yeah, because I mean, it's water.
Is
right?
And now
Surely
I
that's-
will tell you this: every time I'm on a long road trip, and I'm like, I need to really hydrate on this road trip,
Mhm.
and then I start drinking a ton of water. Especially for a show or something, I'll do that because it definitely helps your vocal cords. But every time I am about to stop, and it always seems like I'm traveling through the country where there's just nowhere to go to the bathroom, I'm always thinking that I'm about to be that mother
oh no!
about to die from my
Water,
kidneys
water
exploding.
yeah.
Can
or
you imagine?
whatever.
That's an intense mindset for your body to be telling you, you better not drink any more water because
Yeah,
I'm
right.
gonna kill you. You're gonna kill us.
Yeah.
But you're just still forcing it in.
Jesus. Well, that's just with I
That's
guess
it.
anything. You're like, your body's like, please stop, and I'm like, nah, fuck it.
I mean, usually when my body gets to that point, I'm like, let me chill for a bit.
Right? Yeah.
I'm gonna do something else for a while.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah, you should chill if your body's like, chill. Exactly. So.
chill.
Just
If your
listen-
body's like chill.
Yeah. Just
That
listen to your
that's-
body.
That's,
Right.
that's a sticker.
Yeah, you should chill if your body says.
Your body
chill.
says chill, just chill, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are those
And
cold?
that-
There's some ice in there if you
Man,
want to.
I like it this temperature. That's perfect.
That's
Those
actually,
are actually pretty good water.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
I was
It's a mineral
surprised. I thought
water.
that was gonna be
sparkling
awful,
water is
but
not
it's
not
good.
Sparkling
like my
mineral
favorite,
water.
but
Mhm.
that stuff right there specifically
It's
is
good.
actually really good.
In Europe, it's always the default that they're gonna give you this, and then if you request normal water, you have to call it still water. And yeah, so normally they're gonna do this. If they realize you speak English, then they're gonna ask you if you want still water or sparkling
Bubbly.
water. But otherwise, they're gonna give you sparkling water.
Wow.
And yeah,
In
I
Nigeria-
like the sparkling water, whatever. But
Same.
I like
Yeah.
that sparkling water. I don't like all sparkling
Yeah, me
water.
either.
Not
I-
all
I'm not a
sparkling
big-
waters are created
Right.
equal.
I'm not a big LaCroix or a big.
No.
I don't know. Some other
Yeah.
ones are. I'm not a fan.
Me and Jerry, we actually, if that is one of the things that is always on our bus, is for Logan is coconut flavored LaCroix, and Jerry's is like lemon cherry or lemon lime
That
or
dude
whatever.
can put
And
down
yeah,
some
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
LaCroix.
I don't mind those Zevia drinks. They took a little bit of getting used to, but they're basically just flavored sparkling water as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
What's the
yeah.
Zevia?
Zevia.
Is that the
You've
that
had
stuff's-
it.
Yeah.
Gross.
It's-
dude.
I'm a-
No,
just
I'm
no.
a
flavored
watermelon.
sparkling water.
I'm a watermelon person. So like, that's my favorite of the. If you can find a watermelon flavored water,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's my favorite one.
Those Zevias were like, those tasted toxic. Like,
Those
I
are
don't think they're
gross.
good for
I think a
you.
lot of the other flavors taste like the drink went bad or something
Yeah,
like
right?
that.
Like, it
but
tastes like TV static.
watermelon is refreshing and kind of clean.
Yeah.
Like lemon lime feels like you got a bad, like when you went to a fountain drink and you're like thinking it was a Sprite,
Yeah.
and
But
then you're
it's
like,
just the soda,
Yes.
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
a
yeah.
Sprite that the
No
the
syrup, in
is
it.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
that. I hate
so that's my response to the lemon lime ones.
Yeah.
for the most part.
That's my response to most sparkling
Mhm.
water because
Mhm.
it's just that.
Try the watermelon kind, and pretty much all of them have a watermelon one now, and that one's really good. And the coconut one's pretty good too. But if you don't like coconut at all, then you probably won't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan, really. I do like, has Jerry had you try Topo Chico?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah,
Topo.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
Topo a
What is
lot.
that?
It's the, I was talking to you about it last week. It's like another, it might be mineral even.
Yeah, I think it's from Mexico, but
Yeah.
it's got kind of a, it's unique. It has its own unique flavor.
Mhm.
Is this even interesting anymore on this
don't know,
subject?
man.
But I feel like maybe.
I think so.
I think
The,
people drink
uh,
sparkling water.
Topo Chico though has a very kind of earthy, kind of sandy
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
deal. But if you're trying on the subject of maybe not, drinking yourself to death with like alcohol or whatever else, it's a really good replacement. I think if you were in a scenario that your friends were drinking and you didn't want to drink alcohol, but you needed the social, crutch of having something in your hand and drinking and talking and doing all that.
Pull it up,
Topo
let me
Chico's
see.
really good. They sell it at Kroger
Yeah,
and
let me show you the bottle here.
Whole Foods sell it, and like a lot of places
I
carry
swear
it.
that shit never goes flat ever.
No,
It's always
but,
like,
it is not as crisp
yeah,
an
that's
aftertaste
true.
as this.
That's what I like about that.
That's true.
It's a little bit more of a kind of sandy is the only thing that I can.
that's because it's mineral water. and
Yeah.
it's,
That is too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that,
maybe it's
that
not
will go
as-
flat on you after a
Yeah.
little while.
But yeah, Topo. I see what you're saying. It does kind of have like a earthy, groundy kind of taste, but it's very light and it's not as bad as the other sparkling, especially the non-flavored sparkling waters that I've tried. So I'd recommend Topo Chico to anyone wanting to do it.
Topo
Nice.
Chico.
Topo Chico.
It's a cool name.
Yeah, I like it. I like the bottle too.
Are those
think
glass
it's-
bottles?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it tastes better. I just got like one of the glass bottles that trying to how everybody needs to get a grip on freaking plastic that is just going to waste into the
Yeah.
oceans,
Right.
and fuck you if you don't think that needs to be put under control. You're just an idiot. But so I finally like in the shop, we put a water cooler in or whatever, and my thing is always I hate freaking drinking anything out of plastic. Like even when I drink sodas and stuff, I hated plastic. I can taste every bit of the plastic in it, and just those glass water bottles now that they have. I got one, and it's delicious to drink water out of. As opposed to a metal one. Like a metal one tastes like I got pennies in my mouth, or I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not pennies, but something aluminum.
It's got that
I've tasted
irony,
enough pennies to
metallic
know.
taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everyone's had a coin in their mouth at some point.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
not fucking
you're
fun.
lying if you didn't, or something metal. You put something metal in your mouth.
My water bottle is plastic, but it's those Nalgene bottles, that BPA free plastics.
Yeah, and those don't leach that flavor out
Yeah,
in the same
they're a
way.
little
But
better.
glass, though, man, I'm telling you, refreshing.
I'm just so afraid I would break it. I'd have to
Yeah.
get
They-
like an
so-
I had a
encased-
glass bottle and it was really dumb because it had like a hook on it, so you're in theory you're supposed to be able to hook it up to your dog's leash, which in my head I was like,
That
who
is
would
sounds
do that?
dangerous.
I was like, who would do that?
Also heavy. Here, tiny dog.
It
Drag
was,
this glass.
I mean, it was
Exactly.
really heavy. But I don't even remember what happened. I was out at the dog park and it just shattered, and it was really heartbreaking. And it was pink, and it was perfect for me. But
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
Now it
the
is
one that I
gone.
have, it's that I got at the Country Music Hall of Fame, has like some sort of condom on it. That's, I mean, like cushion, like an airbag condom. I don't
Yeah.
know, like.
mine had
so-
like a rubber sleeve.
Yeah,
on the
it's like a
outside,
sleeve
yeah.
that goes on, and it's a silicone buffer, kind of like the crappy phone covers
Okay.
Mm.
that
Yeah.
that don't really.
Does it help insulate it at all as well?
Yeah, I think it does.
Hmm.
But it
That's
also it keeps it. You can roll it around, and it doesn't. I mean, you'll
No,
break it.
mine
You can
shattered in the rubber
Absolutely,
thing.
you can
yeah.
break it for sure.
I can't
Yeah.
keep anything nice, so I would totally break
But
it.
it, anyway.
Too reckless.
I am very reckless with my belongings.
But this is what happens when I do a sober show. I do things like talk about the flavor of water and.
But there is specific flavors for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Did you know that Maumelle won't recycle your glass?
What?
Like they will, but it's just a pain in the ass to do it. You have to take it to them. They won't pick it up with your
Wow.
It
recycling.
is
didn't know
very
that.
odd because you would think a city like that
That's like the
does a better
most
job.
recyclable thing.
And you know, a lot of that stuff, they're selling that stuff back off anyway to people. That's dumb. I mean,
Yeah.
they definitely make it harder in that town to, I think, recycle than it does, like, say, in Conway or Little Rock. Does a
Yeah.
pretty good job, right?
I think so. As far as I remember,
Yeah.
we
Do they-
recycle at my mom's house in Little Rock.
Does Conway does
Mhm.
recycling, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When I
Mhm.
lived there, I don't know if I just never did the right thing
Mhm.
or never.
We have
talked
to tell
the
them to
right
come
people or
out and
what,
do it,
but
and it's a different day that they drop it off. But
yeah.
And then, you know, going to, like, what she's got with these straws, the metal straws, I've got a few of those. It always
Yeah.
seems like I get caught without one. So then out of just, like, I'm not using this freaking straw. So then I just got the cup and I'm dumping it everywhere
Yeah.
or whatever. Or a very funny thing happened. I got, like, one of those juice bar juices from Whole Foods last week and drank, like, a carrot juice, like, whatever, and went home and Brooke's like, you got orange all over your mouth. And I was like, what? And I'd been, like, out at a Guitar Center and, like, talked about guitars with people. And apparently it looked...
Hey, I'm from the band Illusionaut.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
probably heard of
Come
us.
out and check us out
Yeah, come
sometime.
check
I
us
own a
out.
business
Well,
around here.
apparently it looked like I had just taken orange sherbet and went like this, but anyway, so...
Just like a 3-year-old.
If I would've had my
Your
moral
parents
of
didn't
that
get
is
it,
if I
like-
would have had my metal straw
Yeah.
somewhere. I feel
Yeah.
like maybe if somebody made an invention that made carrying a metal straw like that a little more cool.
Those
or,
came with
They
like
came in
a
little
pouch.
baggies. Yeah, but they
Yeah,
also
but
do make
I already
like
need-
collapsible
There's
ones
not a
too.
cool. There's not a cool way
Collapsible, I
for a
think,
dude to
works.
carry something like that.
Exactly,
She can just
that's what
carry
I'm
it in her
saying.
bag.
Somebody, dudes need cool ways to carry things like that.
Satchels.
Yeah.
Make
Fanny
'em
packs.
Like
I-
make 'em
I-
like some brass knuckles.
I
and you can
can't
just-
buy into the full fanny pack scenario, you know.
Maybe you need like a holster.
I mean, I have a
specifically.
whole man bag that's
Yeah.
a full man bag purse
It's
full
a
of
satchel.
Yeah, a
I
satchel.
feel like the
full of
problem
stuff.
with fanny packs is most of them are made out of like nylon and like shitty material.
Not
that
the Christian Louboutin one I just saw the other day.
well
Yeah.
now
Yeah, they are.
but now
They're
we're back
mainstream
on
now.
the,
They're
the
coming
whole
back,
designer
baby.
thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're mainstream
Anything you
now,
get
so-
designer is gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I
because
bought
that shit's gonna be primo. But
Yeah. I bought
Yeah.
a Supreme fanny pack for an ex-girlfriend a while back, and it was nice. It was like leather, and it was very sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you're
Yeah,
just
they
gonna
make
buy one-
them.
If
I
you're
mean,
just
like,
gonna buy one from Walmart, it's gonna be shit.
yeah.
I mean,
get a
who-
good
yeah,
leather
who's-
one. I
who's
mean,
gonna-
like whatever. Or
you gotta be
if you're
careful with,
vegan leather, they
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
vegan leather. Like
Mhm.
Killstar, that company
Yeah.
has fantastic vegan leather that you cannot. Theirs
theirs is one of the best.
it's weighty. It holds up really well. And I'm sure there's other companies. That Straight to Hell company, they probably have. I don't have one of their vegan leather jackets, but I feel like they probably do a good job on that as well.
Mhm.
But man, Killstar, they got it down. Hashtag all these companies, so maybe you could get some sort of thing out of those.
Get some shout out, get some
Yeah, that'd be great.
sponsorships.
I would
Maybe.
totally need a Killstar sponsorship.
Yeah. Oh, my
Yeah.
band does. Usually I am wearing two designers at all time on stage, and that is John Barbados
Mhm.
and Killstar. I am something on me is from one of those people every time. It's almost like a good luck charm.
Pretty fucking rock and roll.
Yeah.
Two rock and
Yeah.
roll
Mhm.
names
For
right
sure.
We
there.
went to the John Barbados store in Dallas in
Yeah.
the mall, and it was fucking sick.
It
Yeah,
is.
I have to
Ooh,
say,
it was so
I can't
cool.
even look in that direction when I walk by there because I'm just scared.
Well, it has fucking John Barbados and Versace right next to each other,
Yeah.
and Gucci's like a couple doors down.
Barbados
So it's,
is, they have things that are more reasonable, for not a millionaire person. But
That's
definitely my favorite pair of boots is a pair of John Barbados boots that are just.
I don't
amazing.
even look at most designer stuff because it's just I know that I will fall into a rabbit hole.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
That's how I came with like that Straight to Hell company, is that they had a and really it was a my mind went blank on the designer.
Let me see.
That you were looking at before you found Straight to Hell?
Or is it the Straight to Hell designer?
Yeah, this company, they've got some leather jackets that are really killer, that are great prices, but
They are really reasonable with their stuff, and it's really good stuff too.
Web design, damn it. I just want a Straight to Hell jacket. Are these them?
Just go to the Straight to Hell website. I'm sure they may have something like that on it.
This is it. Oh, that's women's, but it'll work.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
They do have really good stuff.
Let's see. Come on, load for me, please.
This internet's been
Yeah, it's been a little slow.
slow.
Alexander McQueen
Oh
Okay.
my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
had a jacket
Okay.
that
Alright.
I was in Las Vegas and went into Alexander McQueen store, and if you're not familiar with Alexander McQueen, just check out the
I mean, who
documentary
are
that they
you?
have.
Yeah, I heard about
And
his
that
documentary.
stuff
It sounds
is-
great. I want to see it so bad.
Oh my god. And he's just such an interesting dude. He's dead now,
Mhm.
but there's a great documentary on him you should check out, and it was on Netflix, but anyway, I went into this store and he had my dream leather jacket, and I went into the store and saw it, and the guy was like, "You want to try it on?" And I was like, because I didn't want to be like, there's no way I could afford this leather jacket. And I was like, sure. And so I put it on, and it was just like a deal with the devil. Like when you put it on, you're just like, how could I say no to
See,
this?
I can't do that because I can't
And
say
then,
no.
and then even with the price tag, you're like, there's nothing rational about this. You're giving your soul away.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God.
but and you're just like, but it feels so good.
Yeah, Alexander
And-
McQueen's one of those big ones that you
Yeah,
spend a
my
buck.
this was like, I don't know, $5,000 jacket.
Mhm, yeah.
And he was like, you need a size smaller, hold on. And he went to the back, and I was like, how am I gonna get out of this? And he came back and he's like, we don't have the size down from that, but we can get it for you. And I was like, it's now or never, let's go. But there was no way I
Good
could get
move.
that
How
jacket.
disappointing.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well.
I guess my $5,000 check will have to go to another company.
Yeah.
Man.
Fucking shit, dude.
Yeah, that's the downfall. That's why I don't even try because
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
somehow justify something that ridiculous.
They,
'Cause
you go into
Yeah.
places like that and even try on clothes. They don't even let you take photos of yourself in them because they know that people are going in there just to put that on and then take a
Right.
picture of it. Christian
leave.
Louboutin, you go into those stores, they allow no pictures
Mhm.
inside there at all,
right.
because they know that that's what people
Mhm.
Well,
are trying to do.
It's such a social status to be in them, you know,
Mhm.
to be
Yeah.
photographed in them, whether you own them or not.
absolutely, yeah.
Just that you have them, they are by you. You are.
I know like quite a few vloggers have issues with that. They
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
go in there and then all of a sudden they're like, I tried to film in there and then this girl told me I couldn't.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like, well, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
a lot
a-
of nice brands, they'll have like people in nice suits and shit, and they'll be like, no, you can't. Like, they'll follow you around and know you're not gonna buy shit.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
all right, whatever, I get it. Real
So-
funny.
Anyway, things that I can't have, but they're beautiful objects of
Mm-hmm.
desire.
Yeah, I don't like being told I can't have it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or thinking I can't have it, then I'll
Yeah.
find a way to justify it. Don't tell me no, because I'll figure it out.
Yeah, straight to
Clothing and music gear is my one luxury.
Music gear's hard to say
Yeah.
no to. Oh, speaking of which, I meant to tell you the other day. Did you see what the new covers that Benson came out with right after I
No.
buy mine?
What is it?
They've got this like really rad like 80s laser like
Oh,
theme,
like a vaporwave or like a synthwave type.
sort of.
Could I
And
find it online somewhere?
on their Instagram, I'm
Oh,
sure.
are they?
Yeah,
Huh.
that's where I saw it at, and I was like,
Yeah.
God damn it! Of course they come out after I
If you're
get
into
mine.
music, yeah, and you haven't checked out Benson amps, which
They are amazing. I've never played anything like
Say
that thing.
Vincent Amps.
Benson,
Benson.
Benson.
like Benson, pull around the car. They
Yeah.
don't have my size of Alexander McQueen jacket.
Benson.
They're all hand wired, hand built in
What?
Portland, and they are. I've got the Vincent model, and they are. You'll probably have to go to their Instagram to see it. I don't think they'll have it on their website. Just type in Benson Instagram, and it'll come up for sure. But as soon as I saw it, my heart just sank because
Yeah.
that's totally what I would have got without question.
See.
I don't know. The one you got is so great. It looks like something that's edible.
There it is. There it is. God damn it. Look at that thing.
Shit. Hold on. Let me get this
Look
up
at that
on screen.
thing.
That
Come
looks
on.
like a backdrop for when I was in
Oh my
Man, that
God,
makes
high
me
school.
that's
so
fucking
crazy.
Sick.
Man, I
Dude.
love that thing.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's not as timeless. Right now, it's cool, but literally, that is the backdrop that I had behind me, and I'm not sure what grade it was, but for my school picture, it was exactly that backdrop.
Yeah.
The
Mine
one that
is-
you've got's a little bit more, I think, timeless because it's kind of like a weird kind of
is
caramel
timeless.
burst, like weird. What do they call that color that you got? I don't know. It
I
looks
think
like a cup of coffee
It's
with
almost
cream
like
in it.
like a creme brulee,
It's-
like tweed.
Yeah, it's like a creme brulee is what it looks like. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got singed edges.
Nice.
It's dude, those things it's amazing. The sound on it is
Killer.
just phenomenal. The tone,
Yeah.
it's I've definitely never played through anything
The
like it.
the bass
before.
the amplifier that Jerry plays through, that Aguilar, or
Uh-huh.
do you know? Do they make non-bass amplifiers, or is that that company is incredible too? Jerry's tones just, of
Oh my
course, that guy's
God.
been in search of the perfect tone as long as him and I have known each other, which exceeds 20 years at this point.
We were talking about
Yeah, last-
Jerry's Gearhead
Yeah.
earlier
But you
today.
know,
Dude, yeah.
Jerry could have a blog, like, and he is a complete expert because he's just like a person that searches for truth. He searches for the perfect whatever, and really, I think he's found it, and he just kind of has got it down to science. But
Mhm.
I mean, you become an expert at anything if you
yeah,
spend enough
if you
time
just
in
study
and
it,
that's-
yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
And
I think
he-
it's only bass amps that they make.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
man, for bass amplification, they're
But yeah,
just incredible.
yeah, he's run the gauntlet, man. He's had he's had like orange and
Yeah.
like all the different kinds of amplifiers that you could think of, and
Aguilar,
different
yeah.
pedals and shit. And he's settling down finally, I think, with all the flipping.
I mean, that's what it takes.
Yeah, man. No, his
Till
sound
something new
is
comes out,
great. Yeah,
you gotta
his
try
sound
out
is
something
great.
new. Just bounce back and forth.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
That's the thing with music gear is there's always so much innovation, always
Yeah.
something new. So that's why it's a bottomless pit.
Well, and now, there's all these boutique pedal makers that are doing just, one weird kind of sounds, and that's constantly coming out with things, and you could end up with a pedal board that has 500 pedals on it, and even like where we're at now with the pedal board that I created or put together just watching YouTube videos when I realized that we were going to reboot our band, and Jerry and I were talking about the textures and sounds that we wanted to hear slowly. I would watch these YouTube videos and then find the perfect texture of reverb and delay, and so now, even with Daniel stepping into this role where there's this board that's a pretty big board that he has gotten accustomed to and stuff. That guy could do everything with like almost nothing. But yeah, you can get lost in that for sure. And now they've got the modeling that, of course, we would probably laugh at it in the future, because when they first came out with modeling for amplification and stuff like that, everybody's like, this is the future, we'll never need anything else. And now we kind of listen to those tones and kind of laugh at them a lot. But companies like Fractal Audio and
I was just looking up. You guys listen to Thundercat by any chance?
No.
He's
I know who Thundercat is. He had a really big record last year.
Yeah, it was called Drunk, and he's had this really big single off of it called what's the fucking song? Them Changes. And he's just a future funk kind of guy. And I was trying to look at his pedal board because he's got some crazy setup going on, but it's not loading. So whatever, we'll save it.
Yeah, he's that. I haven't listened to that whole album, but I've heard a couple tracks off of it.
I definitely recommend it. It's great.
What I heard was really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're into the funky, like we were talking about earlier, like Rick James and all that shit. If you're into funky music, perfect for you, Thundercat.
Did you get a chance? You didn't. I mean, I'm sure you probably didn't yesterday, since you were getting out of the hospital and all that. But in the new season of Stranger Things,
I started the first episode.
Did you?
Yeah, and great. Yeah, they're doing great.
The music throughout that is even better than the last two seasons.
Obviously, and we won't do any spoilers or anything.
Yeah. I'm not gonna give anything
because
away.
I figure a lot of people are kind of haven't been able to binge the whole thing all in one big gulp like that. Although they probably did that so people could on 4th of July do that.
That's exactly what we did.
We did. That was our plan.
And I would.
He's like, "What do you want to do for the 4th?" I was like, "Stranger Things come out."
I would have done that if I would have been home and not on the road. But last night was the first time I got to start it, and you can tell that they have really upped their budget as far as Netflix is all in on them now, and not just. And I don't mean that they could have done it with less money, storyline, because the storyline's so great, but some of that stuff is just as big as any massive production that was ever done in the 80s.
There's no way that this season wasn't exponentially more expensive than the last two.
Absolutely. Have you not seen any of it yet?
I've only seen the first episode of the first season. That's it.
Oh shit! That's all you've seen, the whole thing.
Dig in a little bit. I don't know for you. I can see how somebody might not be as immediately drawn to it, but for me, I am almost the exact age that these kids are. Which I'm not going to date myself. But, so I'm very close to the age that they are now. They would have been maybe a couple years, maybe a year or two earlier than me. So everything that occurs in these things are exactly objects that I had in my life at that time. That's so cool. It's very weird for me.
Yeah, you may be a little young to get that nostalgia effect.
But you will, if you dig into it, the nostalgia...
There's way more to it than that.
That's
just
an
extra dimension.
The storyline just kind of drives it more than the nostalgia does.
The nostalgia just helps
because they just
sink in.
They took all of these brilliant, or the best things that came out of that time period, and put it all back together again in this new thing, and upped it. Yeah. So anything that would be kind of cheesy from that time, they took out a lot of that cheese. I mean, they can poke fun of it.
They kept enough of it to make it where you still get it. Yeah. And it's the good cheese. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And but it's really good, and you should give it a chance and watch a few more episodes, because that thing from the first episode, it doesn't really just turn you on your head like it does as it gets in this one. Man, they don't wait around.
It's just it's crazy. This season is bananas.
Yeah. And I'm only one in, and I had a hard time last night. I mean, I just got out of the hospital. I had just drug-induced pain. Came off of. Right. I mean, I was still under the influence of fentanyl, and so I couldn't enjoy it like a normal person. Right. But tonight I will probably get
more. Honestly.
Tonight I will be a normal person and probably get at least 3-4 deep
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a very long season, but it is really good. It's
Yeah.
very intense.
Yeah.
I will
yes,
say that.
Yes.
It is
This season's a lot more intense than the past
everything about the whole show is just intensified.
Mhm.
Everything.
Yeah.
You guys don't watch Game of Thrones, do you?
I didn't, and I plan
Mm.
to at some point. Like it's just a matter of sometimes when it's gotten that far into a
Mhm.
series and you're like, God, I gotta go 8 seasons
Yeah.
or 9 seasons into something, and it's such a commitment. Like,
Sometimes the train will
even-
pass you.
even-
Right. I felt the same way when I started it, because I started it like near when it was about to end.
yeah,
And now I'm in the 7th season, the one right before the end.
yeah.
Because I've just been binging. I've just
Yeah.
been so locked. Like,
And I'm
I don't
sure
know. It
I
just sucks
would.
you in, man. You
Yeah.
just gotta watch the first.
I mean, that's
couple
what everyone
episodes.
says.
Well,
I know.
You just gotta get
I
through
thought
it.
it was lame. Like I was gonna be lame at first because I'm like, whatever. Medieval dragons not really my cup of tea. But oh my god, dude. It's
Well,
so good.
Breaking Bad was like that to
Uh-huh.
me. As
Yeah,
well.
I love
I put
Breaking
off
Bad.
Breaking Bad and didn't watch it because I was like, there's quite a few seasons and I don't
Right.
have time for that.
Mhm.
And then I put it on,
Mhm.
and then next thing I know, I'm just like, oh my god, I've just watched 6 episodes. And,
6-hour-long
have to,
episodes.
like, the sun's starting to come up.
Yeah.
Maybe just one more.
Like I find myself in those kind of marathons, and I'm like, I would never sit through a movie ever that's like this long.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
shows are just so captivating.
Yeah.
They just, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know
the
how it
good
does
thing
it.
about those is you get in with that long of a stretch, you
Mhm.
get so much character development.
Yeah,
It's so much more
yeah,
interesting
uh-huh.
that you gotta get the rest.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
need
Yeah.
more.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can dig so far into the backstory of it. There's another series that did you ever watch Deadwood, or we talked about this, but you should check it out. It was an HBO series they
Mhm.
did back probably, I don't know, 2006, 2008, somewhere in that range, and it was 3 seasons they did for HBO, and it was abruptly canceled. Incredible writing,
Mhm.
incredible actors in the series, just flawless. It was amazing, and then it just abruptly got canceled and ended and didn't have a resolution, and they were like, we're gonna do a movie at least.
Mhm.
And then it just kind of stalled. People's careers took off, and they couldn't get back around to it, and they just in May released the movie finally, and the movie's great, and but the movie spends 2 hours or more just tying up all the loose ends that you needed psychologically to feel healed emotionally
Just to
from
help the people that
yeah.
watch the series.
So, you can't dig into someone, although they did when they had the series, they would really delve into a character. So you had that backstory. But, you can only skim the surface so much in a 2-hour movie,
Mhm.
Right.
Uh,
That's the fortunate thing that a
Yeah.
series like that has.
yeah,
over
or a
that.
prequel or whatever like
Mhm.
that,
Right. Right. Another really that I was very surprised at was Dark. That's on Netflix.
Dark.
It's German.
Huh.
And they just came out with season 2 like recently, within a couple weeks.
Mhm.
And it's like it's more about like time travel.
Yeah.
And it's weird storylines, and I don't want to go too deep because people need to watch it, but it
Mhm.
is very bizarre and mind-bending,
Yeah.
and you do have to pay a lot of attention with that one because the story is just intertangled
Mhm.
and
And
because it's in a
intertwined.
different language, it's also
Yeah,
you really have
of
to.
course.
It is
you
dubbed.
have to, like,
Much
read
removed,
subs.
It is
yeah.
dubbed.
Oh, it's dubbed?
It's dubbed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they do a good job with the dubbing, but
Mhm.
it is German,
Yeah,
so it's
like you can't just like read, like if somebody holds up a newspaper article, you
Yeah.
can't just like normally your
that fucked
instinct
me
is
up
to
several
read it.
times.
But
I'd be like, I can't read
yeah.
that. Did I forget how to read?
What is that? Did I already fucking stroke?
Yeah.
My kids don't read.
I'm stroking out.
Is that toast? Do I smell toast? Oh shit. No.
No, it's
Oh,
German.
no.
Surprise, it's German.
I need to get more into Black Mirror. I've heard Black Mirror is really
Black
good.
Mirror's good.
I've seen a couple episodes and I like what
Black
I've seen.
Mirror, I don't like to binge on Black Mirror like I do those
Hold
though
up.
because it's all
Hold up.
different.
Click that orange pedal from them.
Okay.
Sorry, I got distracted by this guitar pedal. It's,
What is happening?
Like, wow, that was real
I
quick.
think that's a guitar pedal.
What is that?
Um,
No.
bass
No,
fuzz.
it's all bass.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's all bass.
All
Never
bass.
mind.
I think everything they
It's
do.
Jerry.
Yeah.
It's Jerryville. We're in.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Shouts out Jerry. Check this out. We're getting some new
Oh,
pedals for
Jerry
you.
knows all this stuff. I'm sure.
Oh my god, he could tell you what every one of these does with his,
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to look at them, and he's like, yeah,
Mhm.
Do you
It's
what
crazy.
what are you using?
Jerry
for
would be a great person to come on
Oh
though
my
and talk
God.
equipment,
Gear.
just to have a gear
Yeah, that dude.
conversation. Really, my whole band could come in here because we're all, especially, they're just right now, currently, especially this lineup is definitely a very
Their characters.
Gear nerds.
Well, that's
everybody's very much to the umpth degree on these things, but especially Jerry could fill the whole time just talking about and going through.
He
and
could probably feel it just talking about his gear experience.
Yeah,
He
yeah, all the
absolutely
shit that he's
could.
had.
Yeah, what
and,
he's
like,
had and what he
dude.
likes. And
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And that may be something you even look at, and just for especially bass players, because bass players get kind of overlooked a lot of times in this realm, and he is a complete and utter expert in anything that's ever occurred for the bass.
Yes.
Yeah. Y'all's last show, I talked to him about doing a show, and he's interested, he said, but he said he's going to give Felix a little more time to get a little more comfortable with everything before he comes on.
That's fair.
That's a very Jerry response to
Yeah,
that too.
that's fair.
That's what I said.
And I think it's ready now.
Yeah.
But I think that would be pretty popular, and especially, he can give a complete description, review, whatever of anything, and a bass player starting out and trying to get a good sound, and being like, this is my budget, this is an unlimited budget,
Talk to
this is
Jerry.
and
for sure,
because the full gamut,
And
and
he can make you bust your ass laughing too, like just talking about random stuff. You can be like, and everyone lose their fucking mind somehow.
he is
He's
a
good
funny
at that.
dude. He's
And
a cool dude.
I, for somebody that isn't consumed by playing guitar, have done that with especially guitar pedals too. That's an obsession too. And I think in terms, besides just creating the perfect guitar tone or effect that like takes you out of your own reality, also I'll think in terms of like running these through vocals, and running a vocal board through these textures and stuff like that. And a lot of those effects just don't translate to running vocals through them because they're just too warm of a sound that
whenever you did those live effects at Battle of the Bands, that's the one I saw with like the echoes and the reverb. I thought it sounded great.
Yeah, well,
phenomenal,
we've got it
dude.
even more weaponized now.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And it's actually less effects that I'm using, but I'm using them in a very manipulative way. So that should get very weird.
That's great. I love it. I love weird.
Mars
sound.
Volta did such an incredible job, especially around the time of De Last in the Comatorium. They had a guy, I think, and what's that singer's name? I forget his name.
Cedric.
Cedric, or is that Omar that's the singer?
No, I think
Omar's the guitar
player.
He had a vocal, like a pedal board like that at one point that I had seen him somewhere. Maybe it was on Saturday Night Live or something they had performed, and he had a small vocal effects setup that he was doing that. And Tom York does some stuff like that with, especially he was doing it around, when they got very experimental. But that stuff's very interesting to play, and you can get some really crazy, otherworldly effects. And
I love to just listen to the effects. Like,
yeah,
just
you
crazy
can. Man,
shit.
it's like watching Bob Ross paint.
Yeah,
like
honestly.
you could click on guitar effects,
Yes.
pedals,
And it's
videos,
just the craziest
sampling,
shit you've ever
yeah,
heard, and it works
yeah.
so well.
That's 90% of the time when I'm playing these days. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm just I
Yeah.
kick that amp
Yeah,
on.
man.
I just get my pedal board out and I'm just clicking through and just
Yeah.
making like weird ambient, and just seeing what I can.
Me in the midst of because I'm the worst insomniac, so between the hours of 3 a.m. and about 7 a.m., I am sitting in a hot bath, and I am watching / listening to videos of effects pedals, pretty much, because I've got to shut my mind down, and I can just listen to the textures, to calm down.
Yeah. I've got a question. Do you still have the electric saxophone?
I do, yeah.
When are you gonna break it
I know,
out in a
I know.
show, man? We need it.
We'll probably do that now that we have kind of entered this new dimension as far as what we're going to do with sound. And I would say we prop out a very crazy, in-depth album, because we already have the concept for it, and we'll probably do that coming up on this album. 'cause yeah, there's some crazy effects in there.
Yeah. I watched a video on an electric saxophone, and I thought it was just gonna be like regular saxophone sounds, but no.
Yeah,
there are all
no, that
kinds
you
of
can do it's
crazy
synthesizer
shit.
and all kinds of stuff, and it's very
awesome.
weird.
I love it.
But yeah, we'll probably do that pretty soon. But
Good.
Daniel is he's very, I don't know. You'll just have to see. Like, check out, like I said, check us out on Spotify, Illusionaut.
Gotcha.
Just like the word illusion and astronaut combined together, Illusionaut. Follow us on Spotify. We're gonna release. It should be no more than a month away from at least the first single off of it, and then yeah, check it out. You'll see the change, and our last album was. I was very happy with it.
Snow Queen sounds
for
great.
sure.
And
Snow Queen was great.
we were lucky enough to have Ken Andrews from Band Failure master it, and Darren
Wow.
did such an amazing job on the recording, and he is I can't even say enough things nice things about Darren
He's
would be an
recording the
amazing
new stuff.
person to have come out here and do a podcast, because that guy's, you know, everybody he's recorded, you know, and he's just like, that guy's so amazing.
Yeah.
And he is now, I don't even have to tell him things. He just reads. He knows what I want, and he knows what we need. And so now on this new stuff, I'll record 6 different versions of my interpretation of how I might go about a vocal on something, and it may be in a low range, it may be in a high range, it may be in this dramatic wacky range, and then something else, and then he'll just be like, all right, and then kind of piece them together in a way that it's just, he just finds the best in me, and really he's done that with more so with me, because I've never been produced like what's occurring with him. So, yeah. But anyway, this coming Friday, July 12th, Vino's in Little Rock, Arkansas, with White Mansion. Look them up. Look all of us up on Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. And then the next night, Saturday night, July 13th, we'll be in Memphis at Canvas of Memphis with The Pop Ritual, which is an amazing band. And then Denver, August 3rd, with Psychedelic,
At Lion's
Married to Dead,
Lion's
Lion's Lair, Married to Dead Men, and Smoke and Barrel, September 7th,
Yes.
Yeah.
Fayetteville, Arkansas.
And they can see all these dates on your
Yeah,
Facebook.
if you go to our Facebook, our Instagram, our website's illusionaut.net, somebodybought.com, and it's being a dickhole about giving it to us. So,
Boo, fuck that.
yeah.
What do they even do there?
Yeah.
Go to illusionaut.com. See,
I'm
what,
on
see
it.
what it is.
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
Is
we
it
shouldn't give
a?
these people airtime, Doc.
I don't know. They tried to sell it to me, and I'm like, dude, we're an indie band. Like, we're self-funded. Like,
Right.
what are you doing? Who do you think? What is this, 1998? Like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is not a .com thing. Like, we're...
It's not gonna
Oh
work.
yeah. All right.
But yeah. And if anybody's out there and they're a filmmaker or whatever, and they do film, and they want to help us capture some unique ideas for some music videos, we're going to do some music videos. I've got some concepts, and yeah, let us know. Get a hold of us, whatever.
Sweet. Hit us
Follow
up.
everybody. Click subscribe, not subscribe.
Subscribe.
What's in that can?
Yeah, this is I Promise Water. Hit subscribe on the little button wherever it is on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's probably around there.
All right.
Somewhere in
Yeah.
that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Somewhere in the
Cool.
one of those.
You got a plug? We're good to go. Is that it, baby?
You got anything you want to plug? You
Yeah.
got anything?
Hit subscribe on your-
anything new?
No, I mean, if you just want to go to my website and check out my porn, that's it.
The links are usually you put the links in there.
book with Ryan Cook. Book with Randy if
yeah,
you want
yeah,
a tattoo.
yeah. Go to
You can't book
Lucky
with me.
Bella.
Go to
Yeah, you gotta.
Lucky
you can't
Bella-
book. That's all
Book with me.
online transactions.
luckybella.com or tattooarkansas.com. There's a link that you can click to book with me or Randy or
Yeah. book
Howard
online.
or Sherry or Brooke, and come have a good time with us. And basically, this radio show is us tattooing, or this is as we're doing tattoos. It's talk like this. Sometimes more absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Even
Usually
though
silly.
You would
because
think that we're drunk, but we're not drunk. It's just that people are uncomfortable, and we're trying to like entertain them, and so it gets very silly, and it's long bouts of.
you got to entertain the people who are in pain. Otherwise, they're just miserable,
Yeah,
and them being miserable makes you miserable, and
exactly.
it's an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's the website. You can book from that website as well.
LuckyBella.com.
We gotta update that website.
It
It's
is
all right.
That picture. Right
We
there
have
is-
another one that's a newer website, but that was created originally in like 2008.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well,
Yeah, thanks for being
that's
here
gonna
though.
do it, man.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
for
guys.
letting me come on
Appreciate it,
here.
brother.
So.
Yeah, hopefully there's a good turnout for the show.
All right. Thank you all for watching, and bye-bye.
See you, dudes.
See ya.